I started as a body worker in the 70s, and it's a long time ago now, and have created a body of work called the Transforming Embodiment Process. And they're a set of spiritual practices that are multidimensional, and they work directly with your embodied memory, thus the title, Memory in Your Bones. They're working directly with cellular information. They're working directly with your organ systems. They're working directly with your genetic and prenatal, all of the levels of memory that you have within your own body. Because the most amazing thing that I've seen over and over with clients and students for 20 plus years is that everything is right here. Everything that we need to know is right within our own body. We don't need to go anywhere else. We don't need to have someone else figure it out for us. It's even better. We can do this for ourselves. And this is a profound empowerment for people who decide to make this kind of inward journey and look in this kind of way. So you're going to walk away from this evening with the information that you need so that you can start to work directly with your own energy body, your own organ systems, and just the information that is at large in your own being. Is ways in which you can remove these imprints that limit you, that burden you, that don't allow you to move forward in your life in the way that you would like your life to bloom forth or open up. I have seen miraculous things happen with students and clients since day one. I'll just tell you one story. Maybe I should tell you my own story a little too. I have an institute, a healing institute, a mind-body institute in Tiburon, California. I've practiced in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Oregon as well. And I see clients all over the globe, actually. I created the practices that are in this from my teaching with students and from my own experience. In 1983 to 1986, I went through what's called a kundalini awakening. Anyone ever heard of that? Yeah. Mine was unbidden. I wasn't doing any yoga. I wasn't doing any kundalini anything. It just spontaneously started to happen. I nearly died the first year. It went on for 3 years. And I came away from this experience completely transformed energetically. I was able to hold light in a whole other way. I was able to start cars just by flicking my finger. It was a little startling to my husband, who I just married, and me too. And it's been that way ever since. And it always amazes me. And when this body of work was channeled through me, it was just really, it gripped my students and gripped my clients and really allowed them to move beyond some limitations they have. This is in the book. It's a case study. Actually, they turned into interludes, so it didn't sound so theoretical. But it was of a client of mine who had met a man, and she'd gotten involved with this man, and they were living together. And she had always had a heart problem, but he seemed to bring more of it out in her. He seemed to really just, agitate her on some level, as well as feeling this really deep and abiding connection and such love that they bore for each other. She told me that when they first met, she was standing on straight pavement on the sidewalk and nearly fell over into the street when she first met him. And, that was interesting, she thought. And she was doing body work at the time and studying body work. And she did some work with her body work teachers, and they were saying, oh, you're having this wonderful heart opening. Oh, this is so great. And her heart was just doing this. And it was boom, boom, boom. And she would get, in his space and around him and his friends, and her heart would just go off like it was just in a panic. And her father had had heart disease, so she was a little concerned. She was Christian Science, so, she kind of hesitated for a moment, but then she went to the doctors, and they gave her this little machine, and they put it on her, and she was supposed to wear it, and every single time she had one of these heart moments, they told her to click the button on the machine and record it. And so, lo and behold, she takes this recorder into the doctors, and they look at everything, and they see what's going on, and they finally say to her, well, you know, the only thing that we can find is that your mother may not have taken enough magnesium when you were born and when you were in utero. And we think that you have this deficiency, and it's not mitral valve prolapse, and it's not any heart defect per se, but you know, you just have this extra beat going on in there. So don't worry about it. Just take some magnesium and it'll be fine. Well, that was just a little bit prior to when she met her sweetheart. And when she met him, it just went full blown. And she was taken to the hospital 4 times in less than a month with her heart racing out of control. And when I met her, and when she came in to do this training that I do, where we go into the body and we work directly in the body, she came in and she was just like, I'm just unnerved by this and I want to know what's really going on. I know what that the doctors are telling me and I think there's something else going on here. And I said, okay, we'll see. So I invited her into the second part of this training, which I don't normally do, because she had some skills, and I said, okay, we can do this. And the first night of the training, I did a meditation, which I'm going to be doing with all of you tonight, where you go into your heart. It's the cardiovascular system. It's the first system that we go into when we're working in the body. And I just did this very simple meditation where you go, just connect with your own body, and you connect with your heart right here in this moment. And then you go back 10 years and back 10 years and back 10 years. And you just kind of go back to when you were a child. And you just feel your heart at all these different places and listen to your heart from your 40s and 30s and 20s and teens and all of that. Very simple. She flew by all of that like she was the Boeing 747. And she said she opened her eyes and she looked around. It was I taught in my home at the time. And she looked around and she could hear my voice, but all she saw was the canopy of a rainforest. And what happened to her that evening was she began to experience the original moment where her heart was wounded.